do it, mate.
Oh, come on.
Oh!
So basically, what we're doing, right, is we're going to go through the whole team squad, every single player that played a part in today's game, and you're going to rate them out of 10 if you don't mind.
Beautiful.
Let's go. Right, ready?
I can do that.
Oh.
Yes.
Three. I've never been so happy after a match. God.
It's great.
Come on.
This is what winning feels like. It's a new feeling. Like,
Ladies and gentlemen, Aston Villa 1, Arsenal 0. I will normally introduce the concept of today's video. We're going to rank every single player that took part in today's game against Arsenal out of 10. I've got my main man, Richard Fairlie, with me. Richard,
what's up, guys?
How are you feeling after today's result?
I am buzzing, mate. That I always see the stat from Sky, right? They're like, Aston Villa are the only.
I know, yeah.
Excited. We've finally done it. It needed to happen. I'm so happy.
Just how did you
I'm
feel?
So happy, man.
We're talking before we start recording now. How did you feel during those last few minutes? Because I know I could not watch the last few minutes. I was so nervous. I was so tense. They kept bringing up that graphic on the screen of us conceding late goals. It was written in the stars, but thankfully we got that win in the end, and we're to go into that West Ham game full of confidence and hopefully secure that win.
Hopefully, man. Like, I was the last few minutes, I had my girlfriend sat next to me. She's always got the stats up, and sometimes the stats are in front of the TV. So I was like, what was it say? It's so good to come off the back of that and get 3 points today, and so happy.
I'm going to start us off regarding rating every single player out of 1 to 10. Let's talk about Pepe Reina, the big man in goal, on loan from AC Milan. Another sturdy performance. He's reliant when called upon, and I think he's a great asset in goal whilst Tom Heaton is injured.
Yeah, I completely agree. And when that header came from one of the Arsenal boys, and it bounced off the post and he caught it. Thank God he caught it. It's not like not calling out any.
He kissed the ball. He kissed the ball.
He kissed the ball. And I would have kissed that damn ball. Like, not to call out any other keepers who struggle at times when the ball is close to the line. But no, Pepe did it. So I'd give him a solid. I don't want to be too nice though, even though we've won. No, screw it. Like, I'd give him an 8. He's bossed it.
Why not? Why not after a fantastic
the clean sheet? We've got a clean sheet against Arsenal, even though he didn't actually have a shot on target. But he did great.
He does. He's great, and it's fantastic that we criticise Suso in charge of the transfers this season. We criticised him regarding the players that he has acquired to Aston Villa, but it's great that he's got contacts within the Italian league and can call upon players with such experience, such as Reina, to come into Villa, bring that experience that we've been needing whilst Tom Heaton's been out, and it's just been fantastic since he's ever come since the results of the league.
I still think Suso needs to kind of get out the door.
Yeah,
in my opinion,
Smith needs to take charge of transfers.
Yeah, we can't get too excited. We've beaten Arsenal, yes, but we've got hammered by Man City in the past. We've got hammered by other teams in the past.
Yes,
hasn't been an amazing season, and recruitment hasn't been amazing. Yeah, Pepe's a great signing. It's that experience we need, and Tom Heaton's experience as well. He's got that. But I think we need more of that in the team, because when you look at it, the experience we're looking at is Mings. He's not really that experienced at Premier League level. Jack, he was a kid when he was a kid. He was my age. But he was young when he was in the Premier. So I think we do need more Premiership level leaders. But yeah.
Let's look at the fullbacks now. One man who's got a lot of experience, but unfortunately was bringing off. El Mohammadi, of course, he's played at Hull City in the Premier League. He's a great player with great crossing abilities that helped Villa, and he was influential in games such as the game against Crystal Palace when we won 2-0. But we brought on Freddie Gilbert, and again, he was a great asset. He was great defensively. He got stuck in, but was also great offensively and contributed to the attacks.
I love him because I don't think Elmo gets enough. Maybe he does. I don't think he gets enough credit. He is
We bought him for $1 million. It's ridiculous.
I know. It's a bargain. He's like, experienced, whips in great crosses. But Gilbert, for me, I think he's been great all season, and I love seeing a good raunchy slide tackle from him. That's happened a good few times this season, and did it today. It wasn't against Pepe; it was against Aubameyang. I think he was on the Aubameyang was on the left. So he had a great slide tackle, I think, against Aubameyang. And what would you give him?
I don't know. I would give him a solid. I think after an emphatic win, our confidence is through the roof. We're so overjoyed. So we're always going to rate players potentially too highly, but I would give him a solid. I'd give him a 6 or a 7.
Fair
I think
play.
I think it was great defensively.
It was good. I still don't think Arsenal were tip top or like on it.
No.
So maybe if Aubameyang got some better through balls through, and his pace would have just like, not saying Gilbert isn't fast, but Aubameyang's pace flattens most fullbacks in the Prem. But for today's performance, kept a clean sheet. Jack's just on the TV doing the little post-match interview. I'm so proud of him. I'd give Gilbert a 7. Screw it, and I'd give Elmo a 7 for his brief outing. And I hope the injury isn't too bad. I don't know what it was.
I love
the guy. Like,
he's fantastic. Yeah. He is fantastic. Let's move on to the two central defenders. The fantastic.
We didn't do Target.
We will do in a minute. We'll do Target in a minute.
We didn't do Target.
We'll do Target. Do Target now. We'll do Target now if you want.
Okay, let's do Target now.
I'm
so happy, man.
Come on, let's do it.
Target's great. I loved the interplay. It's always good between Jack and Target. But that late game moment where he kind of went through, Jack played a ball through, and he tried to get across, but our strikers are, not the best. And Arsenal defense was good, but Target, I'd give him a 7, and he was great today. And his defensive side's really come on.
Yeah, exactly. He's a great defender, and he's not the quickest left back, but he still contributes, again, like Gilbert did, to the attacking chances. And like you said, he's a great defender. He tracks back. He watches his man. He's a fantastic performance all round from the team, and you have to appreciate every single player who put lots of effort into that.
Yeah. And I'm going to give him, I'm going to give him an 8. I'm going to give him an additional point because his post-match interview against Everton was excellent. Like, he looked genuinely irritated. And it's nice that, seeing players that aren't Jack, that aren't Tyrone, that are, they don't really have a affiliation apart from it being their job, and obviously they care. But Target seemed really disappointed and really gutted. And that's kind of what you want from your defenders. When you've let in a late goal, you want them to look gutted and, want to improve and do better. And he's the first to admit that. So he can have an extra point for honesty.
Go on, let's do it.
10 for Target. Positive.
Let's now move on to the two central defenders. We're talking about Ezri Konsa, Tyrone Mings. We'll talk about Konsa now, because at the start of the season, when he's brought into the squad, I didn't think he was ready, and he was a naive presence. But since the league has resumed and the games have come thick and fast, he's stood up and has been counted, and he made some fantastic blocks, some fantastic tackles today, and all round, again, it was a fantastic performance.
I love Konsa. I think he was really good the other few games as well when he was playing right back.
Yeah.
But centre back's his natural position. He was great today. I'd give him an 8. I'd give him a 7-8. They didn't have a shot on target. He blocked a few. He controlled the defence, and then he did really well. And Tyrone, I give Tyrone a lot of slack because he's good. Don't get me wrong.
But he could be so much better.
He could. And I think a lot of the Villa faithful, just because they like him, and I've got to say my girlfriend has the biggest crush on Tyrone Mings, and I am the B-Tech Tyrone Mings, and he's just the more attractive version of me. But I think we just give him a lot of over praise because we like him. And when you actually look at his performances, and I know we're playing that type of football where we want long balls out the back, our target man to hold it up. Samatta's still learning that, developing that.
Yeah.
Davis is, I think, a bit better at it, but he's not going to finish. So that's what we're going for, and Tyrone's booting those balls up. But every time he does it, I'm just like, losing possession.
Yeah.
And he does make a few silly mistakes. But I've got to say, that tactic, I don't know if you saw it on the TV, I was loving it, where the corner came in from Connor, Ty got the assist, but he was saying something to Aubameyang, and Aubameyang was like, yeah, really funny. And then Tyrone was off. If you can, put a clip in. I've seen it on Twitter. That was just great. I don't know what he was saying to Aubameyang. He must have just been like a joke or something. But that assist from Ty was great. So I'd give him a 7 today. He was really good.
Let's move on.
I'm going to give him an 8.
Why not? Again, why not? Because he was fantastic. And I agree in the fact that because he's shown his quality on the international scale as well before the coronavirus break for England. And he's a fantastic presence in the dressing room. You saw him as well as Konsa shouting, screaming to their players to get back and defend. It's fantastic.
You always see that. And he's amazing. He's amazing at that. You always see him shouting at everyone and being really assertive and that leader at the back. And sometimes I think sometimes his ability doesn't match his hunger and desire and leadership. But today, great. Absolutely great from him.
And just finishing off regarding the defence, I believe that no matter if we're in the Championship or the Premier League, both Tyrone Mings and Ezri Konsa will have a massive impact. I know Mings has come to the end of his career. He's coming off his prime. But Ezri Konsa's got a lot of years ahead of him, and I think he's going to be a fantastic defender. And hopefully he'll stay playing for Aston Villa.
I love Konsa. When we look at, and I know all the fans on Twitter are like, we can't score goals. After this, after the break, we don't like scoring goals, but we scored 39, I think, which is decent. And our problems, I think that's like equal to Sheffield, and how great Sheffield are doing. Our problem is defence, and we need to buy, honestly, I'd just say a couple proven Prem defenders. So I wouldn't be pissed off if Konsa wasn't a regular next season, and we got some wise older Donny in.
To potentially help him grow into a great player, then getting someone like of Gary Cahill's caliber.
Exactly. And it must be great having like Terry in the dressing room, John Terry, to feed Konsa advice. And Konsa's another one that I think really cares. I remember that time where I think Mings ended up getting a goal because of a deflection. And I remember Konsa getting interviewed. He was gutted, man. Like, he really cares. Yeah. He gives a lot for the cause. So that's nice as well. So big up Konsa.
Go on. Let's look at the midfield now, because again, since these three...
Douglas Luiz. Oh, love that man. So yeah, go on.
Let's start with Douglas Luiz, to be fair, because he's a fantastic player. He's got when he came in, Manchester City, of course, put a buyback clause on him. And depending on whether we're in the Premier League or the Championship, that will depend on whether he stays at Aston Villa, in my opinion. But since the assumption of the league, he's been a fantastic presence. He's skillful, he's artful, he's so composed on the ball. He's so self-aware of the players around him. And in my opinion, no matter if he's at Aston Villa or any other club, he's a fantastic footballer. And again, just like Konsa, he'll have a great future ahead of him.
Beautiful footballer, and he's really grown into his role at doing the defensive jobs. Because when he came in at the start of the season, I didn't really know where he was talented. Like that goal against someone from outside the box. Yeah, the Bournemouth one was
such a good goal. Such a good goal.
I was never sure of what his best position was. If he was kind of that like roaming playmaker, or he stayed back and did the nice passes. And his defensive side since the break, excellent. Yeah. So he's been brilliant. However, I want to say, I see loads of people on Twitter and on the gram just being like, oh, Man City are going to buy him back next season. No, they're not. He's great, but he's not the quality of Manchester City yet. He's just not. And but he'll grow into it. He'll grow into it.
Yeah, because I was watching Manchester City versus Watford ahead of today's game. Another big game for Aston Villa's sake. And you see players such as Phil Foden, of such a young age that he is. He's been in and around the Manchester City academy and the first team, and he's learned his trade. He's a fantastic footballer, and he suits that system. Douglas Luiz, again, is a fantastic footballer, but because the level of performance at Manchester City, the bar is so high that potentially he may not make it in that squad, but he's always welcome at Aston Villa.
God, yeah, please stay here. I see him here for 2 seasons. And then I think he'll hop back to City and put in a great shift for them.
What would you rate him out of 10 for today's game, though?
I wasn't actually watching that much, because he's kind of one of the players that
he does the
dirty work. But I'm gonna say 8. He didn't lose possession a lot. He was doing that a lot at the start of the season. Played some nice passes. Did some cool little flicky things.
Too good, we can't even classify it. It's fantastic.
Yeah, it's quality. So, yeah. I'm going to give him 7. I'm going to give him 7.
Fair play. Let's look at John McGinn. Let's look at the Scottish Messi at times, in my opinion, due to the fact that he can hold on to that ball. He can dribble past players. We've seen it in the Championship. He's shown parts of it in the Premier League. Despite him coming back since his injury, since the resumption of the league, he's been slightly poor, but as the game come by, the game's coming thick and fast again, and he's been an influential presence as the league has progressed. And especially today, he fits so well within that system, and I thought he was fantastic again. And the one thing that I love is when he gets so down low and uses his bum to wing that possession. It's so cool. So cool.
The bum, I think Dan Bardell called it on the Villa View, like the McGinn bum block or something.
Fair play.
It works, fam. Like, whatever and his little arms. He's got the weirdest little run.
No. The
that
little
thing.
meatball.
That thing he does. McGinn was great. I'm going to be a bit mean on him today. When Jack gave him that pass and McGinn cut inside, McGinn should have finished.
Should have done better, yeah.
So I'm literally going to be a knob and give him a 6 because
it's not a bad score, though, to be fair.
I think Kennedy, she's just looked at me like, you're giving him a 6. He should have finished that chance and stuff. Like when he took the volley that I don't know if it was Gilbert that passed him the ball on the right flank. Don't take the volley there. Like maybe control it. And, like,
yeah.
It's just little things like that. Like it's Arsenal. Don't waste a chance like that you might not get. So I'm going to give him a 6 because, and I just don't think he's hit his level yet. And I've seen a lot of stuff about if we go down, Arsenal were going to sign him. But then I saw something that like if we went down, Newcastle might sign it. I could see that honestly because he's that kind of player. He's not Arsenal caliber yet. Well, I mean, Arsenal are a bit confused at the moment because played great for 2 games. You know, the Liverpool and City, they're like a brick wall, and then
they come into
Egyptian King strikes.
As I said on Twitter, he's fantastic.
He is, yeah. But I'd give John a 6 out of 10. But he's good.
Yeah. Now Lansbury replaced McGinn late into the game, but I don't think it's fair to rate him due to the fact he only played 1 minute. So we'll go for the final central midfielder, and we'll go through his counterpart that came on in the 73rd minute. Let's talk about both Conor Hourihane and Marvellous Nakamba. Now Hourihane is people have talked about him. That is he suited to the Championship? Is he suited to the Premier League? But he works well within that system. He's not the standout player in my opinion, but he works well within that system. And Marvellous Nakamba as well. I would classify him as the engine in the midfield. The person who's got all that. He's got abundance of energy. Potentially, he's not very good at shooting, but he can pass it off really well. And both players, everyone contributed today, and both players again were influential within that midfield.
Yeah, I completely agree with everything you just said. I'd give Conor. See, Conor confuses me at times because amazing on the set piece delivery.
Yeah.
But he doesn't start a lot, and I'd love to be a fly on the wall in training and just know. I guess he's great as an impact sub, but I'd just love to know why he doesn't start over like Nakamba at times because Nakamba looks a bit. When Nakamba got subbed, I said Nakamba. Sorry, Nakamba.
Sorry.
When Mr. Marvellous got subbed on. I was a bit nervous. I thought he could have made a mistake. I thought he could have done something to let Arsenal. I don't know. I just don't trust him because I remember when we were playing a while back, Douglas and Nakamba as like a pivot with, I think, it might have been McGinn in the hole. It might have been Jack. I don't know what we did. But they made a lot of mistakes as a pair. Yeah. And that's my kind of memories of Mr. Marvellous. But he put in a shift when he came on. But I'd give Conor at the corner that led to the goal. So Conor can have I'm going to give him a 7 purely because from open play he didn't look super stellar. And Marvellous, I'm gonna give a 6 because I didn't see him do much. But each point I gave him is purely because he didn't make a mistake. I'm being a bit harsh. I know I'm a bit harsh, but
it's fine. It's your opinion.
I just don't want to get too overexcited. We've got a W. It's nice, but I don't want to get too hyped. So that's my scores on them.
Let's look at the forward 9 now. We've got Jack Grealish. We've got Mbwana Samatta and Davis came on for him in the 72nd minute, as it says in front of me here. Trezeguet. But let's start with the main man who hasn't been at his best great, at times.
No.
What are your thoughts on Grealish so far?
So far on since the what are we calling this? The comeback, the
project restart, if you like.
Project restart. Since Project Restart, Grealish hasn't been great. I think he kind of thrives off that maybe audience. Yeah. As a performer, I'd be shit without an audience. I don't know if I can swear on this. I'd be
do what you want. It's fine. Do what you want.
Without sweet, I'd struggle without an audience to perform. So I get that. But Jack he's great, and he's probably the best footballer I've seen in a Villa shirt. But it stresses me out at his best, and it stresses me out when he comes deep. It stresses me out when he sometimes decides to dribble into 5 players. But he was great today. Today was the first time I think I've seen him since Project Restart where he's looked like the Jack Grealish we all know and love.
Yeah.
And he created 2 great chances. And if he was in a Manchester United, he'd create the chances and Rashford or whoever the hell would finish it. So he did a really good shift today. I'm just extra hard on Jack. I don't know why. I love him because he created great chances, one from McGinn and one that Davis should have finished. That irritated me when he didn't finish that. Because it could have just been 2-0. Boom, got the game. Would have saved me many a heart palpitation.
Yes.
But I'm going to give Jack an 8 because he was good. And he did some great defensive work actually. He blocked some great shots. But I do just want him to plonk his ass in the final third and stay there.
Yeah.
But I understand he's a leader. He wants to lead. He wants to take control. And he played some great long balls when he was actually like in the middle of the park. So screw it. 9, 8.5.
Why not?
8.5. You can have an 8.5.
Fair play. Let's look at the strike.
You did well.
Let's look at the strikers. Bryan Samatta hasn't been at his best. We've seen him at his best when he came into the fold against Leicester City in the Cup, I believe, and he was fantastic then. But since Project Restart, he hasn't been the player that we know he can be. What's your thoughts on Bryan Samatta during this game alone?
He gets a 2 from me.
Wow.
I was not remotely impressed with Samatta.
Wow.
I think he needs to hold. He doesn't do enough for me.
No, I agree.
I'm going to be really harsh because I haven't seen 2's really harsh. But I'm trying to make a political stance.
I get where you're coming from.
But he doesn't do enough. He doesn't look as committed. He doesn't look like he hasn't had a shot on target since Jan. His hold-up play is all right. He doesn't get in behind that well. He's not using the space behind the channels super effectively. Most people would be like, oh, I'll give him a 6. He did meh today. But he's not good enough for me. Standpoint, we brought him in and he's just not good enough for me.
I agree.
That's what I'm going to say.
Yeah, and now let's look at the player who was substituted on.
Okay, maybe not a 2, because a 2 would mean like falling over.
I was going to say, yeah, it's a bit harsh, but I get where you're coming from.
Davis he had that chance, so fair play. Missed it, but unlucky. It was a hard angle. No, I'll give Samatta and Davis a 6. Go on. I'll give them both a 6. But Davis, his hold-up play, I think, is miles better than Samatta. And I feel like he wants it more. When the ball comes to him, like he seems to be a bit more passionate and try. And he's got more physicality on him. But he just doesn't look like he's going to score a goal, unfortunately. That's my only ick.
Yeah. Let's look at the winger. Let's look at Mahmoud Trezeguet, who has come under stick the last few weeks before the Palace game, in fact. But he scored those 2 goals. He scored a goal today. He was influential in that sense regarding scoring the goals. But I didn't really, when watching the game again, like you said with Douglas Luiz, because he does all the dirty work, I didn't really notice him a lot. He may have contributed to the attacks, but he wasn't a standout player for me.
No, I think. However, I've got to say, I've never been Trezeguet's biggest fan. His goal today was beautiful.
really good, yeah.
The composure to just take that, beautiful. His finishes in the other 2 games, excellent. Like, it's a weird little angle. It was a good little tap in. But he does look... Actually, no, today, screw it. He was great today. I saw him win the ball back. He didn't look as
much
clumsy.
better than he was in previous games.
And
I get that.
That's kind of what I want to see from Samatta. Just a big improvement because Trez, like when you looked in the Everton game, he was giving the ball away left, right, and centre. He took his touch wasn't great. Like the ball would just fly away when he had a touch. He lost possession a lot. Today, I don't know what the hell we fed him, but please, Dean Smith, give it to him again. I thought he was really good today. I noticed him win the ball back a couple of times. He looked really hungry. He looked like he wanted it. And I think the goals have just helped his mentality a bit and made him feel a bit more confident. Because I thought he looked good. It's like you said, I didn't notice him.
Yeah. But comparing his performances from the last few meetings, I get what you're saying.
He was sick. I compare it to the other 2, and he was flipping Ronaldo for half an hour.
Yeah.
But he was really impressive today, Trez.
Yeah.
Really impressive.
Now,
so I'd give him a 7, 8.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree.
I think that's fair.
It is fair. So we've looked at the whole squad now, and we've got a vital game. We've got an important game now on Sunday against West Ham. How do you see that going?
I'm still nervous because, like Arsenal, they played 2 excellent games of defensive football, and then they met the Egyptian king and they couldn't handle him. But it can, you can boomerang's the wrong word. What's that? You can yo-yo. Football can yo-yo. You never know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
So I'd take a draw at West Ham. That means we're safe, right? We're on 34 now, yeah?
It depends on it depends on what result. Yeah. If they will win by a certain amount of goals, but it's Arsenal again, so...
I think Arsenal can sort themselves. I think Arteta's an excellent manager.
He is.
Today was an anomaly. I like to think Bournemouth aren't going to get a result against Arsenal.
No, they're out of the fold now.
Watford? No, is it? Who is it? Is it Watford playing? Oh, no, it's not. It's Watford, Arsenal.
Watford, yeah. But Bournemouth are out of the fold. There's almost certain.
I don't know. Like, I think everyone's been sleeping on Bournemouth. Because, like, the last game, I know they had that goal taken away from them. But
they did put in the work rate.
Yeah. And I don't know. I'd prefer to be skeptical about it and then not get disappointed than come on here and say, like, we're going to stay up.
Yeah.
But I'm more nervous about Bournemouth than I am about Watford. I'm shocked they sacked their manager.
Watford stacking Pearson, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know why that happened. I haven't read up on it. But, like, they were on 9 points when he came in. He's done a great job. I'm very happy they sacked him because I think it backfired and they're going to be confused and Troy Deeney's going to be sat in the stands like, what the hell's going on? But hopefully Watford lose. Hopefully Bournemouth lose. But I'll talk about us and West Ham. I've been really impressed by West Ham whenever I've seen them play. Declan Rice's goal in the last game was beautiful.
Yes.
And I think he's going to be on a run of excitement. And, I mean, they're safe now. So they could fall to pieces and not really care. And we could hopefully get a win. But I'm still nervous because I just don't... After today, I'm happy. We took some shots on target. I'm still nervous about scoring goals.
That's our biggest problem.
Jack could do it. McGinn could do it. Like, it's not like we've got, like, and I know Aubameyang's, like, world-class tier, but it's not like we've got an Aubameyang that we can be like, he'll take a load of shots. So I don't know. I'm just nervous about West Ham, but gassed about today's result.
Yeah.
What do you think is going to happen at West Ham?
I think definitely after the confidence from today, you can see the players were relieved and they're just overwhelmed, overjoyed by the result. And I think we'll take that with us against West Ham. And bear in mind, West Ham are out of the picture now regarding relegation. So they've really got nothing to play for. So hopefully their minds on holiday and we can just prevail off that fact and score a few goals and
hopefully
secure the win. Because now we've got the advantage now being that we're 17th. So
yeah. Oh my God, we're 17th.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I didn't realise.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we are. Goal difference. Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, so hopefully we can. Awesome. We've got the advantage. Let's secure that win against West Ham just to make sure we're in the Premier League next season.
I'd love it. I am feeling confident actually. After you said that, I'm feeling more confident now. Let's do it. We can stay up. We've got this. We're a Prem team. We deserve it.
Of course. What are your thoughts in the comments though? What are your thoughts? Do you agree with me and Richard? Make sure you leave your comments down below, and don't forget to subscribe to the Total Villan. Richard, thank you very much for coming on.
No worries, man. Anytime. Thank
you very much. But most importantly, guys, stay safe, stay well, and up the Villa. I keep being too caught up by all my demons, lost with